Alright, no clickbait in this one. In this episode, we find 2 S Indian head pennies for reals. Yeah, for reals. Okay, welcome back to Coins Are Neato. So a lot of you are used to seeing this as my presentation area. So I do listen to feedback, and some of my favorite feedback might have been to make my presentation area more interesting, to add some stuff to the background, but don't make it too distracting. So, okay. Sure, let me give that a go. Maybe nature, little decoration, little giant sloth. I think it's coming together. Hold on, I got something. I got that in there. Right. Good. It's very convenient for my presentation. I think it works well. So, here's what I'm really going to do. Solve this problem. This is my new presentation area. How about that? I think that will do nicely. So there's a horrible moire pattern in that. I actually can't tell if that's in the video or if that's just on my screen on my camera. So there we go. I figured out if I turn it sideways I actually don't get the moire pattern. So you'll have to tell me if this is better. Better? So those of you who are wondering about this coin, I have a small collection of vintage Franklin Mint pieces. This is one of the larger pieces, 64.1 grams. Pretty cool coin, if you want to call it that. I think a lot of people just simply refer to these as art rounds. So this is a roll we're all excited about, and I apologize ahead of time if you hear some outside traffic, but I want to make sure I don't stop during this roll. This is maybe the most special roll that I've ever had in my life, and hopefully the most special roll that you'll ever see opened. So I've had a total of at least 7 of these rolls that I verified as vintage and authentic. I opened one off camera before I started filming these that was pretty good. I opened another one on camera that was also pretty good, and then I opened another one on camera that was actually very average. So you should really expect that if you get a sampling of vintage rolls that are matching. You should expect some of them to be, or most of them, to be pretty average or even duds, because they should represent people's pocket change and people's jar change. So this is really amazing. So let me tell you what's special about today's roll. I don't want to take up too much time, but these are the rest of the rolls that I have that I believe are verified vintage, authentic. This is one of my regular ones. This is one of my supposedly regular ones. This one is different from all the others. The seller, when I looked through, the seller has never had any of these. I believe out of quite a few of these rolls total, they were broken up originally from a few thousand rolls from what I can find online. I bought a few of them. Along the way, there were 1 or 2 that had an Indian end that was also an S. So I got, as far as I know, out of all these rolls, this penny hoarder, we have no idea really. Supposedly someone's uncle. I was able to track down what I think is the original story about these rolls. This is the only known roll that has two S ends. So not only have I never found an S in the wild, I should say an Indian head penny S in the wild, now I know that I have at least two Indian head S's in the wild, because these are verified for me. You can see these rolls are tight. They're definitely old. I found some good stuff in one of them, and hopefully we're going to find even more good stuff in between these two amazing enders. And so the deal is, unless the front of these are utterly destroyed, if it's a 1909 S, you could safely say it's sellable for at least a couple $100, maybe $300, depending on the condition. If either one is a 1908 S, well, that's sellable in this sort of condition for $150 to $250. Okay, here's the moment of truth. The most exciting roll I've ever had in my life. One of the most expensive penny rolls I've ever purchased, and with good reason, and from an excellent seller, and with some verification from me of authenticity. We all know what this tool is for. Let's get in there. I'm not going to take this off camera, but I'm going to search them off camera. But I want to show you these S's without hiding a thing. The roll is tight. Bear with me. I'm going to remove these S's and then tear open the roll so that everyone can see with me. And then I'll take a really close look so that everyone doesn't have to watch a minute or two per penny. So this is cool. This actually opened for me. Let's get the first S out. And I'm going to do this so I never hide the roll. I want everyone to see this. And we'll take a look in a minute at the rest of it. Give me a second. I'm so concentrating and focused. Hold on. Let me put the roll right here. Don't want to hide anything. Okay, here we go. Not only my first technically found S's, we don't know what year this is yet. I'm sort of beyond excited at this point. I see that nice S there. Okay, what year does everyone think it is? I think it's a 1909. I tried to look based on what these S's look like and where they're placed, but really it varies for both of them and they're very similar. So let's find out together. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Boom. It is an 8. Trying not to be shaky. In decent condition. Realistically, sell it on eBay if I want to for, I think, $150. I'll have to look it up. Maybe $100. I really have to look at the condition. All right, let's go to the next one. Keep the roll in view here so that everyone sees what's happening. Okay, this one I'm going to stand up so all the coins don't fall out. And let's get this end open. Pardon me if focus doesn't work perfectly the whole time. I'm trying. Here we go. Let's get this end open. hope the video is good against this new fancy mat of mine. Sorry, trying not to damage anything. Here we go. Alright. My second found S in one day. Unbelievable. I already technically can make my money back on this roll. Okay, this one I have to poke. It's actually it almost feels like leather. There we go. Alright. What does everyone think this one's going to be? We know it's an S. Bear with me, please. Hold on, hold on. Put the roll down. I think I lost a coin or two. That's alright. Keeping them all together. Who isn't hoping there's a bunch of more S's in this roll? Come on. How amazing would that be to find 3 S's in one roll? So this S looks initially maybe a little smaller. How's that look for everybody? Sorry, I'm looking at it too. I'm fascinated. Hold on, let me get the focus for you. I get it. Everyone have a good view. Okay, we're hoping for a 1909. Let's find out. 3, 2, 1. I'm so excited. Another 1908. I think the other one's maybe in slightly better condition. Now the real hope is that there's another S in this roll, because these tend to either be mostly Indians or mostly Lincolns. Let's get a good look before we lose sight of everything, and then I'm gonna look through the rolls, through the roll, and I want everyone to be able to take a look. Unfortunately, these long rolls are a little harder to gently open than the shorter rolls like quarters and dollars. But let me spread these out, and then I'm going to take a real good search through the roll. But this is already, I would say, a completely epic roll, and then some. So there you go. Let's see what we got. I'm going to try to give you a good view of most everything in there. It's a little far for me to see without my glasses, so maybe you can actually see better than I can. Hopefully someone has spotted another S, because that would be tremendous. Let's move these. Let's get rid of the strange hair from 40 years ago. Alright, anyone seeing anything good? Oh, I sure hope so. Alright, everybody. Okay, everybody, I'll be back. I see plenty of Indians. I see nothing too new looking. Historically, these rolls have only had a couple, or maybe just a few from the 50s. So I see at least a half dozen Indians. Let me get back to you. Alright, welcome back. I was right about a half dozen, but not more than a half dozen. So I got a few okay ones. I remember in the previous rolls there were a few Indian heads, a few pretty nice ones actually. And of course we have our S's here. And the S's are in pretty okay condition. I'll look those up. Those are in some sort of probably fine condition, I'm guessing. I haven't searched the rest yet, but I'm about to, and through the magic of television. So first of all, it's really hard to complain when the newest coins in the roll are 1939 S's. So I'm going to start with that. Second of all, we knew we had the excellent enders, so we had two 1908 S's, and you can keep a running tally in your head of the values. These 1908 S's are probably worth not worth, but actually sellable for probably $150 each. I also found a 1914, which in this condition I could probably sell for $25. A 1915S, which in this condition I could probably sell for $40 or maybe even $50. A 1916S, which in this condition I could probably sell for $25 or so. I would say that makes the whole roll right there. So I also got a 1927S, which is a semi-key date. If it didn't have the scrapes, that was maybe a $15, $20 coin. 29S, 30 Philadelphias, 30S, a 33 Philadelphia, 34Ds, 35s, S, Philadelphia, a 36D, and by the way, I haven't checked these all for varieties or anything else yet. I didn't see anything too incredibly obvious here. And then we have a bunch of 37, Philadelphia, D, and D, and then an S, and then we have a 38, Philadelphia, and then we have 39 S's. And then, as if these coins weren't amazing enough to have in the same roll, we ended up with a few very nice condition 36S, 39S, 39S, and then a nice kind of red-brown 39S. So this roll, what do you think? So now I'm going to take these and my trusty loupe and go through them all carefully, and let me show you why I do that. So let me tell you why, when you're done searching your roll, you should really go through it with a fine-tooth comb, more literally, a loupe. Anyway, these are two coins from a previous roll of mine. I'm going to show you a link to that video. So not only are these two coins pretty darn special, I found them both in the same roll. This one I noticed the day I searched the roll after I carefully went through the coins. This one I noticed a couple days ago, which was a few weeks maybe, after I went through the roll initially. This coin happens to be look close. Look closely at that neck. So if you can believe it, when I looked this coin up in both PCGS and NGC, the two biggest grading companies for coins, there are only a total of 49 graded examples known. They're all in better condition than this coin, but if I send this in to get graded, I will be proud to say it's the one that's in worst condition. It's probably worth more than a few $100s. It's an incredibly rare error called the one in neck. This one, a few days ago, I had a re-look at those coins again, and I noticed something odd in the light about the date. This one is called an RPD, a reprinted date, and it's called the FS 301 in NGC or PCGS, and I'll post the links to those too. Incredibly rare, very rare. These two coins definitely paid for that coin roll.